Good evening, people who are listening and watching this back again. Week 2 of Coveys Grassroots show. And Covey, how are you doing, sir? You good?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you? All right?
Yeah, I was all right up until about...
with your teeth?
Yeah, struggling, mate. Struggling. Listen, people, do not underestimate a wisdom tooth. Again, it's not for actual wisdom. It actually kills. Yeah.
Mate, tooth pain is just the worst, mate. Oh my God.
Tell me about it.
Toothache and earache, mate. Oh my days.
Ridiculous. But
and a whitlow on your fingernail. I'd rather get stabbed or something.
Oh, don't say that, man. Yeah, so I was okay up until about an hour ago? Was it 8 o'clock now? So maybe 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. I don't know. Time's gone by. Basically, what I'm trying to suggest is that this whole new Tier 4 system, like everyone's seen it now, but I'm just going to bring up on screen now this whole Tier 4 system now. Basically, Boris has come up with another bright idea to kind of keep us indoors for a couple of more weeks now. So he suggests that indoor gyms and sports facilities will close. Outdoor sports courts, outdoor gyms, golf courses, outdoor swimming pools, archery, all of that. Basically, and the main thing is you can only be outside one person from another household. I mean, that is just nuts.
Yeah.
I thought we got over this. Basically, I've got full over it.
It's a bit of a shambles, isn't it, mate? To be honest, I think the only saving grace is I know there's a lot of for football reasons anyway. 1-to-1. Reading that back, 1-to-1 coaching can carry on, can't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's going to be certain loopholes around it. I mean, elite football, of course, is still allowed to go ahead, but you know, grassroots is pretty much null and void for this year. I mean, we only had a couple more weeks anyway. But to think that we've gone through lockdown 1, lockdown 2, tier systems aplenty, and now he's making up another tier. I mean, I'm seeing all the tweets go around about, you know, this tier, that tier. By the time we get to tier 10, we won't be able to blink our eyes, let alone come outside.
Yeah, I was talking to someone about it just now. I think there's too much of a grey area. There's too many grey areas. There just needs to be black and white. It just needs to be right. This is what you can do. So just fucking do that. Just do that. Everyone, you got to do that and police it properly. Because at the minute there's too many grey areas. Like these people can do this. These people are allowed to do that. Oh, fuck off! Why is fucking Pepe allowed to do something that one of my players ain't? Why? It's ridiculous.
I don't know.
Everyone should be in the same boat. That's it. Done.
That's what I'm thinking. Because I know we can say, "Oh, elite sports this, elite sports that," but again, elite sports.
Fuck them.
Breathe. Like
Pepe's not even elite, mate. He's getting away with murder.
You said it. You said it, not me. You said that, not me. Sorry, Arsenal fans.
Pepe's getting away with one.
If there's any Arsenal fans in the chat, please. No.
I'm an Arsenal fan. I am an Arsenal
fan. Oh, yeah. That makes it even worse. That makes it even worse. Oh, you're trying to hurt me with my tooth, man. Oh,
Pepsi tonight. No beers tonight.
Pepsi. Oh, dear. I mean, look, we even got like tier maps now. I just got this off the interweb. Tier 1s, tier 2s, and 3s and 4s. Obviously, tier 4 is pretty much where we're all affected by. And then obviously Ollie Bailey, shout out to him as well. I've just been, on his Twitter feed and just seen what he's put out as well. So again, just kind of further goes over what we was talking about earlier. The government's new tier 4 rules would only allow exercise with one other person outside of your household. So I don't know. Make sure it's a good one. I don't know. I don't know how does it affect people going to other people's houses for Christmas? Or you're not allowed to see your mum on Christmas or what?
Yeah, it's madness, mate. I was going to go around to so many people's houses. I had so many presents that I wanted to dish out this year as well, but I just can't now. So, oh well.
Yeah, it baffles me. Shout out to the Cold End listening in as well. 2 famous Bills on TV tonight. Bill Bailey on Strictly. And Bill on TV.
He's a better dancer than me, though. I just saw him get 10 all straight 10s just now. He did, Bill Bailey. But 10.
I like that one. Danny is saying Pepe's not elite. Comment right there. Now, I just said, look, Danny, he said
He's
it.
getting
Not
away
me.
with it, mate. Danny's getting away with one, isn't
He might be getting away with murder. Michelle Cove, I think you might know this person, maybe.
Send them in the post. No, you know what that post office is like, mate. You can't be trusting them.
Oh dear.
Oh, mate.
There's another one. This is a bit of a long one as well. So
I have a look. What's that?
Bruv, these guys told us don't wear a mask, do wear a mask, stay in to save the NHS, eat out to help out, close your business, pay your tax, go to work, don't go to work, lockdown, tier system, same as lockdown, have Christmas, now don't have Christmas, all over in 12 weeks apparently. Has everyone lost the plot? Go and do what the F you want. If you feel ill, don't go and cuddle a newborn baby or your grandmother. Drink a effing lemon sip and chill in your bed until you feel better like you do every, I'm guessing, day. Mic drop, Jake. That deserves a mic drop there.
Park life.
That was a paragraph and a half. I kind of get your frustrations there, Jake. I'm guessing, we've been pulled from pillar to post for this whole year. In fact, I mean, this started in March, didn't it? March. Now we're obviously 19th of December. Don't know what's going on. Still don't know what's going on.
I can't even. To be fair, I can't even remember my 20s. I know there's a lot of 20-somethings out there. They're getting a bit frustrated. That like the party scene, and they they're not seeing their friends and all that. I get that frustration. But looking at it as a sort of an older, wiser head with a parent, you just got to fucking. It's for their benefit, mate. It's for them, and for when they get older and they have children, and they've just got to just suffer it. Just suffer it for a month and just do as you're told for a month. At least, and then if it doesn't work, and the cases still go up, then fucking we go back to Boris and go, what are you talking about, you scruffy head fucking prick? But it's just, you know what I mean. You can't say, oh fuck that prick. I'm not gonna listen to him. I'm gonna go and do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go and fucking suck on balloons and all that around my mate's ass, and then the cases go up the week after, and then you say, "Oh yeah, it's a load of bollocks." You can't do that.
I'm just like saying, like you, man. I just would like some clarity. Why are we doing this? Why are we going into tier 4? When are we coming out of it? Because I thought, well, probably naive of me to think that we're done. Do you know what I mean? We've done the whole doing another lockdown in November. Now come back into tier 4. Now how long are we in tier 4 now? For up until Christmas, after Christmas. It's just a bit of a joke, to be honest. Shout out to Jake, as always, listening in. He's saying, yes, guys, loving the YouTube setup. So much easier on telly. Oh, you're watching us on the telly, Jake, are you? Oh,
you got smart TV, mate.
Hey, he's watching us on the telly. Jacob Wills is saying, what's worse, being in tier 4 or being an Arsenal fan? I'll leave that one for Coveys. Because I'm not an Arsenal fan.
Mate. At the minute, being an Arsenal fan is fucking horrendous, mate. He's got to go. Arteta's got to go tonight. That's it. He can't carry on. We're too big a club to go through this. We're actually in a relegation fight.
I haven't seen the score, but I saw the meltdown on Twitter.
Yeah, lost 2-1. We if possession. We always seem to win possession. I don't understand how we can't understand that opposition managers are just going, fuck it, just let them have the ball, mate. Just let them have the ball, because they ain't going to do fuck all with it.
Exactly. It's no good having possession if you don't do anything with it.
Exactly. That's what people are having us on toast again. Yeah, just fuck him. Let them have it. Let them have it, and then we'll score from set pieces, because Arsenal was shit at defending set pieces, or we'll catch them on the counter. Just let them have the ball. Let them do what they fucking want with it. Let them give it to Pepe, and let Pepe do 37 dragbacks and still not cross the ball. Or give it to Willian, and he ain't going to beat a first man. He gets paid 6-figure salary every week, and he can't cross and beat a first man. That's a joke, mate. It's a joke. It's basics, and we're getting the basics wrong. And you don't expect that from the Arsenal, unfortunately.
As they say, man, robbing a living.
Yeah.
Jacob Will saying they low-key longing this out past Brexit, mate. Oh God, don't bring on the B word as well, please, Jacob. Please.
It's too early. It's too early for that.
We've had the T word, we've had the C word. Don't bring back the B word. I thought we got rid of that. What was that, 2019? Alex Salmon got a link, mate. Yes, I will put the link, in fact, in because you are our first guest. So shout out to you, Alex, as well. I've seen your message, so I'll be dropping that in. Toby, talk us through the show whilst I drop that, mate, because again, you've lined
in the next couple of minutes, we'll have Alex Salmon and Kieron Amos coming on to talk about their life in football at the moment and their past experiences. They're both at Sawbridgeworth now. So they've got a few interesting things to let us know. They've had both of them have had an interesting year. After that, we've got at 8:45, we've got Stevenage women's striker Becky Shepard. She's coming on to speak about her career and move to Stevenage and how lockdown's treating her. And then after that, we've got Coach Ruudy. So I'm looking forward to catching up with Ruudy. We've got him at 9 o'clock. He's big on the old.
Call you producer for Coveys. Look at this. By the way, guys, I'm not taking any praise for this at all. This is all this man's work to the side of me here. Like, all of it. Producer Coveys. You've got all the guests lined up. Knows everything. I just got the streaming of it, mate.
Mate, putting a tweet out and then just getting no reply. You're like, whoa, hold on a minute. Come on. And then it all just fell into place, really. We're lucky we got some good guests on tonight. It's a good show tonight.
Well, talking about good guests, they've just arrived. I'm just going to read out this last message from Jake before we get him in. Jake was saying, it's not the manager, it's the players. Trust me, a new manager will come in. You'll get a boom for 6 months and be back to the same thing. Just my opinion, but the shirt weighs too heavy on some of them. Fair enough. Good point there, Jake.
That's right. But they're not going to get rid of 5, 6, 7 players, are they? So it's easier to make the full guy the manager. It's always been like that, unfortunately.
Always the way. The manager always, takes, I suppose, the praise and the bad side of it as well. So
yeah,
it is what it is. So without further ado, we're going to bring in our first guest. So we got Kieron.
How you doing, guys? You all right?
How we doing?
All right, mate. There they are. Look at them. Fucking slim lines.
Can you hear us all right? Am I coming through all right?
Yeah.
Nice and clear.
Mate, we could have auditioned for the Go Lightlies this time last year. Us three. The younger generation don't know who the Go Lightlies are, but they're like a very heavy singing act. But both of you,
got straight over my head.
He's only 19, Kieron. Bill.
So what's
Kieron,
happening?
you in bed, are you?
Mate, I've been kicked out of the living room.
Oh.
She said, "Not all this."
The washing on your bed as well. What's going on with the washing line behind you?
Oh, don't even.
What's happening to you two anyway? Have you had the privilege of playing together yet?
Yeah. We played last Saturday, didn't we, Kia?
Hashtag. Yeah.
Yeah.
I say played. We've done a lot of running, didn't we?
Speak for yourself. Whip for the area. That was me. No more.
Obviously, we've got both of you on. You've both got some. Kieron, especially you. You've had this a whirlwind year this year with your Sky Sports, the Daily Mirror picking up on your story and things like that, and that must have been like a crazy time for you, mate.
It was.
But it was a massive. It was the I wouldn't say 15 minutes of fame. It went on for a few weeks, mate, because you was banging some goals. You went, you got the head on the FA Cup, and then you got that.
I normally only get one a season.
You got that cross as well. You know that one when you crossed.
I'm still trying to tell people that was a shot all day long. That was me. If you watch the video, you'll see a stutter just before.
I'm going for a shot.
Listen, it's got to be. I'm not going to tell people it was a cross.
So people that don't know what happened, kid. Just give us a little brief rundown of what your year looked like.
Yeah, so start of lockdown, I was 21.5 stone. Probably at the heaviest I've ever been, if I'm honest with you. And then, like I say, yeah, my brother, he's very into his fitness. He's joining the Marines. So he's kind of out every day running 10K with bricks in his bag and all that kind of shit. So he dragged me out and I went and did a kilometre with him. And when I say I stopped 5 or 6 times, it's probably doing myself like a disservice. Do you know what I mean? It was probably double that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did a kilometre, and then from there, I kind of just got a bit of a bug for it. Just going out running and really, you know, where you're in lockdown, obviously, you can't go out. That is the only chance you have to go out, isn't it? So
yeah. What was motivating you, to get you
it
off the settee and every night and just carry on doing it? Because I know I've tried doing it, and you get off and you go for one and you think, oh yeah, I feel really good.
Yeah.
And you go for the second and you think, no, fuck this. And then you're back on the settee.
Do you know what? I think I got fed up to look at myself in the mirror and thinking, you're a fat bastard.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that was it, you know. And
just get a smaller mirror, mate. Just get one for the
head. My head didn't fit in the mirror. That was the problem.
One of them little circle ones.
That was the problem. It fit the mirror, didn't it? But yeah, I think that was the motivation. Was just like, you know, obviously where I've been doing the coaching and I've been caning other players who play at centre half, or you know, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, listen, if I can sit and criticise them, I'm only 23 years old. Like, give it a go, try and get back playing.
Yeah. You've done amazing, mate. You've done amazing. And how did Daily Mirror pick up on that? Was it a tweet? Did they pick up on the tweet, or was it someone?
Andy Lyons, who's the chief reporter or something. He's from Bishop Stortford, where I was living at the time.
Yeah.
And a few of my mates know him through playing for the local club on a Sunday, Hatfield Heath. So he picked up on the story and kind of run with it. Yeah. Sent a photographer to my office. So, you know, there was 1,000 students wandering around college all looking at me in the car park having photos taken with a load of sugar. So
has there been any long-term gain from it? Like, obviously, the weight is obviously the main focal point. Yeah. But has there been anything come of it, like publicity-wise?
Not really. I mean, David Lloyd have got in touch about doing a
well, that's quite
advertising campaign.
Start small, kid. Start small.
David Lloyd have fucking got in touch.
Yeah, no, they've mentioned about doing something, but that's obviously gone quiet now. That's gone quiet now. I think they probably thought he must have put a bit of weight on or something, or he stopped scoring goals. Yeah, no, I have. The second lockdown that we've just had, I was out every day, running, training. To be honest with you, since Tuesday I haven't done a thing. So tomorrow I'm going to get myself back out and start cracking on again, because I've noticed I've been eating a little bit more the last few days.
Yeah. So what sort of advice would you give to anyone watching and how to sort of keep themselves motivated through lockdown and keep that weight off, or if they just want to get rid of a load of weight, you know, 21 stones it's quite heavy, you know. So you've done amazing.
Set a goal. Wow. Work to a target, because, you know, before I've just sat there and said, I want to lose weight, and then, like you say, you go out for a run, you have one healthy meal, you have a salad, and then it's like,
yeah. When I say what viewers, you know, I meant me, right? What advice would you give me to
just run around the rugby pitches at Swifts, mate? You'll be fine.
Yeah.
What was the key turning point though? What was it? Was it the shuttle runs? Was it your health, your eating? What was it? Or was it a mixture of both? Because I'm curious to it as well. See, now we have lockdown as well.
Yeah, I think for me, I found it was originally it was a diet. Do you know what I mean? I'd always diet, lose the weight, and then put it back on, because I weren't combining it with exercising and learning how to eat normally. Because like you see, we talk about a diet. That's like carrots, do you know what I mean? Having carrot sticks for snacks, and you know, for me it was a lifestyle change, and I think that was the most important thing, was, you know, trying to change my lifestyle, because before it was just eat what you want, drink what you want, and crack on. Whereas now, you know, I know what I can eat. I know foods that are good for me, foods that ain't great for me, and that's not to say you can't have bad meals. Do you know what I mean? I still have a takeaway a week or, whatever. But it's just
what
about...
What are you sitting at now, Kieron?
14.3.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. That was about where I was when I was 17 as well. So,
God, fucking hell.
Yeah, I got the old clothes back out the loft.
Got the old naff jacket out.
Now, Alex, I've got a message to pass on to you from Mr. David Morgan. He says,
I know.
45% larger in real life. I've been waiting to read.
Do you know what, Clint? I see his comment on Twitter earlier. I thought, don't even rise to it. He's waiting for a bite out there. He's David Morgan. Oh, he's a character, that boy. He's crazy. He's crazy.
Talking about bites, he's also gone on to say, ask him how the fishing with me went. So,
yeah, it's a good day out.
Yeah, didn't he? Yeah, he took you fishing.
Yeah, we went. Yeah, it was a great day. Yeah, it was a good laugh. What I will say, it might have been 5 or 6 years since I last see Dave, but nothing changed. He's still mad.
Mate, he's a fireman now. He's a fireman.
Yeah.
You imagine your house burning down and them fucking coming round.
Coming running through your door.
I'll be like, no, you're right, mate.
Yeah. Just look at you making silly noises at you or something. You know what I mean? He's.
I love him, mate.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Yeah, he's brilliant. He's brilliant, old David.
Yeah. So, Al, tell us about you, mate, this year as well. You've had a bit of a. I know we spoke in the summer. You had a quite big decision that you wanted to make. Crossroads, absolutely. Really. You was at a bit of a crossroads, mate, weren't you?
Yeah, definitely. It was a strange one for me, Bill, because when I got into management a little bit by default, really.
Yeah.
Our manager resigned at Burnham, and it was sort of a bit of a natural thing for me. I was carrying a bit of an injury at the time, and then you end up taking over. Then 2 years down the line, you find yourself standing on the side at Basildon. At step 4, you think, blimey, it weren't the plan, Bill, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It was, and then when you're 30, 31, just turned 31, you're thinking to yourself, with 3 young kids as well, I'm giving up a lot of playing time. I'm giving up a lot of time for others, Bill. Do you know what I mean? When I should have still been really focusing on, my football, really. You know what I mean? Because that's what I was doing it, And so it's been a bit of a strange year. Then obviously got back playing, similar to Kieron, really. Trying to lose the weight, and obviously touch base with Kieron on how he was doing it, and because obviously he lost a hell of a lot over the lockdown there. So got back playing, mate. We're trying to have a go anyway.
You're doing it well, mate.
Have you recovered from last week, or?
Not really, Bill. Not really. I tell you what, I've tucked up like you wouldn't believe. So, Sawbridgeworth have been fantastic. Lee, Mick here have been absolutely fantastic. It hasn't been a case of like when I decided I wanted to go back playing. It hasn't been a case of like, well, get fit and we'll give you a chance. It was more genuinely, especially in the early stages, Lee genuinely checking in to see how it's going. More than play, more just seeing how it's going and stuff like that. Then got to know Kieron as well. But yeah, last week. So I'm thinking, I've had a friendly with them. Training got called off, so I think we'll do a couple of sessions, get over Christmas, do some hard work in my personal time at Christmas, and maybe think about getting back into step 5, January, February time. Happy days, right? So I get a call Friday, we want you in the squad, blah, blah, blah. Can you make it? I said, well, I don't know, it's a bit early. Well, what do you want to do? All right, I'll come along in the school. You only play you half hour, 20 minutes. You'll be all right. Don't panic, I think, all right, I've got half hour, 20 minutes in me, Bill. I'm geared up for that. So I'm playing for half hour, 20 minutes, right? So I'm warming up. There's no team sheet on the board or nothing like that. I'm wearing 21 because it's the only kit that's in extra large. So I don't know,
I've handed it over to him, and
Keys delegated the shirt over. He's now at a weight where he can get into a steady large. And so there I am against the league leaders. We're warming up on this 3G. It's rock hard. My knees are sore. Keep all the boys are popping the ball around. I'm thinking, I've come back too early here. And just walking in, so that the gaffers, boys, all in you go, get your stuff. So I'm thinking, right, go in, get me shirt, get me shin pads, whatever. Put them on the bench, have a sit down, catch me breath, So you got the hashtag guy, their setup's fantastic, and you got him on the antenna, reading the team sheets out. I thought, I've just heard Salmon 21 in the starting 11. I thought, I've nearly fell over, Bill. I'm still catching my breath. I've gone up to Kieron. I said, Kieron, what's changed since yesterday? He's gone, what are we talking about? I said, well, we discussed. So he just looked at me and just walked off. So I'm now in the changing room. We come out for the game. I look down the other end, and you've got sort of, a hashtag O'Raw, Newbie, and Anderson, all sort of step 3, step 4 players in the past, and I'm thinking this is going to be a long afternoon. But no, I'll tell you what, in the end, Keir pulled us, and he just said, well, "Imagine I told you Friday, you'd have been thinking about it all evening and stuff." So throw me in the deep end, But no, it was good. It was a great experience. It was good to be back out there, Bill. Good to be going up against battles with players like that. You know what I mean? It was good fun. Yeah. Really good fun.
Did you have any clear cut chances, or did you have any half chances?
No, I didn't really. We had a couple. It was one I think we put the wide player in, and he was unlucky. The goalie made a good save. They were a good side. I thought we were solid. To be fair, their free kick. They scored a free kick. He's absolutely rattled it. He was threatening all game. He hit the bar, and then he's put one in the top corner. But if that's what you're resorting them to, you're pretty solid. Do you know what I mean? Defensively, you've been good. So
I'd expect they was thinking they was coming to give you a good old whipping.
I think so, mate. Yeah, I think so.
Definitely.
I completely agree. And we really sort of kept it tight, and it was a real good, solid team performance. And another day we might have created one or two more chances, but no, it was a brilliant, mate, to be back out there. It really was sort of rolling back the years there, but thrown in the deep end. Sure.
Got a question for you from Jake. Jake said, Alex, has it been easy to switch off from being in charge and going from what you say goes to now having to be a player listening to instructions?
I think my personal opinion on that is I've learned a lot from being in charge, because sort of some of the things you expect from your players when you're managing, before I was managing, maybe didn't give 100% myself, in terms of my own fitness on the pitch and stuff like that, doing the right thing. So, I mean, I've learned a lot like that. So for me, it's like I'm a player now. Respect the managers, because I know what the managers go through each day. I know what it's stress. Match days is the easy part. Believe it or not, standing on the side and just managing the team and in a game is the real easy part. It's making sure everybody's fit, making sure everything's organised and everything's the best for the players. That's the tough thing, and that's all done in the week. So. Yeah, I found it quite easy to go back to, just focusing on myself. That's what I've gone back for. So just to, and concentrate on my own game and do what I can for the team, really.
Clint, ask him what he feels about, how he feels about dual registrations.
Oh, dear. I was waiting for this. I've got a whole pitch on this. I've got a whole script written down the side of it.
He's kidding. He's not about that. Look.
Yeah. I've written on the back of a kebab paper. Hang on.
Be for another hour or so, man.
Nah, well, I tell you what it is, right? From a management perspective, my original philosophy was, I'd never try and take somebody on for a game, or you get some players ask. They're just available for a game, and when the dual registrations topic come up, to be fair, I looked at it from that perspective, without taking into account strange times. You've got one whole division, or how many you've got 3 at step 4 in our local area, then you've got the Premier as well, all not playing football. So I've never been a manager in that period. So if there were so many players available that literally every team could have one or two boys.
Yeah,
that's different, and it's for a period of 3 to 4 weeks. And I didn't take that into account originally, Bill, when we was having words about it. You know what I mean? I'm looking at it from the perspective of, someone can't play for their team because they played on a Friday and they're looking to nick a game on a Saturday. When I sat back and thought about it, and then not only that, it's my first game for Sawbridgeworth, to be fair, on a Tuesday. As a player, we had Callum Taylor played down the left-hand side, and I was up front. And you want to play with the best players, that are available to the football club. And if the football club can bring in one or two boys to help, then that's brilliant. And it's only good. So I think, it's been a bit of a U-turn for me in that respect, because I was purely looking at it as the players trying to nick a few games rather than the players struggling because there's no football, and an opportunity for clubs to, like I said, get one or two in and strengthen, and for other lads to learn off of them as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that's where I sort of see it now with what's gone on.
Yeah.
What about you, Kieron?
Do you know what? It's funny, obviously, because I was probably the one who got Callum in over at Sawbo. So for me, I was looking at it. Obviously, I'm a player coach there. So for me, it was kind of get the best players we possibly can in. We've got a few injuries and players out, so it kind of worked. Obviously, we got Al, who's played his first game in 2-3 years. Do you know what I mean? So for me, and we got a couple of young lads in there as well. We've got 2 16-year-olds we've just signed at the same time. So, I think try and win the game. If those players are going to improve your performances, then great. And especially if they're not coming in demanding money.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd have a real problem if someone, because nobody at Sawbridgeworth gets paid. Do you know what I mean? There's no money there. If someone comes in and says, "Well, I want my £100 a game," you just laugh at them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You would, because you're not going to pay that kind of money. But if someone genuinely wants to come and play football, for free, I ain't got a problem with it at all.
Yeah, I think there's loads of clubs, managers, coaches that pretended to have an issue with it and signed players on the low down.
Yeah.
And then you sort of you think, oh, hold on a minute, he didn't play for you a couple of weeks ago or last week, and it's like fucking snaky.
West Essex had a couple, didn't they?
Yeah, it's just, I just think it just benefits if it benefits the club, the players, the players' parent club. It's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer for me. I just think it's madness that anyone would think that. I think actually there was an incident. I was listening to the East London Radio, the Grassroots show on there, which Adam and that do, and they was I can't remember what the side they was talking about, but I think there was like 11 players brought in. I don't know if any of you know. Did you hear that, or did you hear that? Did you listen?
I know there was a few with Woodford, weren't there? I think was Woodford.
Woodford, that was it, not West Essex. Yeah.
Darren
Foxley was still for playing, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a few. I'm not too sure, but no, I completely. Look, if you're going to get boys for 2, 3, 4 weeks, and they're going to improve what you're doing and stuff like that. And not only that, it brings out more in the players that in your own players that you've already got.
In our game against Old Stevenage, we had. So we've got a young boy called Ray Snares. He's a little centre half, not little. He's a big centre half. Plays for Tilbury under-18s.
Yeah. Okay.
So Mark asked us if we'd take him at the start of the season just to give him an introduction to men's football.
Yeah.
So he come over and he's been amazing. He's such a nice boy. He's always turns up at training. He does his runs. He's a brilliant. He's a fucking good player as well, and he's a really lovely boy, and he's a credit to his family. So when we got Darren in, we got the opportunity to get Darren Phillips in. I thought, God, mate, how romantic is that? I mean, you got the centre half of the first team, top of the league. I'm going to get him on loan, and then I'm going to play him at some point in our next. I'm going to play him alongside Ray, who's the under-18 centre-back, and it's going to be buzzing, and Ray's going to be buzzing and all that. And we had Jake was doing his commentary, so I'll give it a little whisper. I said, look, I'm going to bring Ray on now. He's going to play alongside Darren. It's going to be a really big moment for him and that. So they'll pull it over on the commentary and all that. Played the game 1-3-0 in the bar after. Ray's gone to me. So who does he play for, that Darren?
Top lad. Fantastic.
He didn't have a Scooby, mate.
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
I'm thinking he's fucking buzzing. Like
He'd go home, tell his family, I played with the top centre half.
Training next week at training. Oh, yeah, with all the youngsters. I played with.
Do you know what's interesting though? It is interesting when you mention that. Like a lot of the young players now, there is no link, is there, between the youth and the senior?
Yeah.
And that kind of says that to you, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah. That's right. That's right. When I was, you always knew who was in the first team. Years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
You needed to try and get him out of the first team, didn't you? And try and nick a spot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Clearly,
so your lights have come on now, Kieron. You got your little fairy lights on, mate.
Icicles.
It looks like a scene out of Frozen behind you, Kieron.
Mate, you should see my living room. It's like Santa's grotto. Horrendous.
Forward to Christmas, obviously now tier 4.
Yes, man.
Nothing's changed, does it? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm isolating, so I would have been isolating for Christmas anyway. So it's a bit of a stinker, but
we've had to rearrange everything. I come back with a positive test today, so.
Oh yeah, 10 days. Mate. Yeah, how do you feel though? How are you? Is there anything? Are you feeling rough? Or?
Rough, Bill. Rough. Yeah. That Wednesday, just feverish. I was feverish. I thought, it's just that time of year. Picked up the flu, whatever. You know what I mean? You don't think nothing of it, and then the cough. You get this cough, and it don't go. Like you're just coughing, like you're smoking sort of 40, 50 a day. You know what I mean? And I thought, well, I better do something about this, So, because I'm based in Basildon, because of the situation in Basildon, they're actually asking everybody just to go and get a test, regardless of whether you're symptoms or not. Just they want everyone tested. So I thought, well, we've got a walk-in centre, so I went in there and got the results back today, mate. It come back positive, and you have to isolate. Yeah, but it was rough, mate. Really rough, really rough. Probably like fluey. I can still taste the stuff, thank God. But I had a temperature and horrendous cough, mate. It's terrible.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So it's been,
I wish you better, mate.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So last comment here from Richard. He said, "Bring back YTS, make them earn their stripes by cleaning boots."
Yeah, he can get the resis to clean the first team's boot. That's fine. I'm all up for that. He's our reserve team manager. That's Richard, our reserve team manager.
Yeah.
Rocky can clean Gibbo's boots. Tell him.
You know what, gents? Appreciate your time, man. Thank you very much for coming on. Really do. And
you too.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and wish you guys all the best.
Cheers, guys.
Likewise, chaps. Have a good one.
Cheers.
No worries.
Thank you.
Ta-da.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, good catch up.
Very good catch up there. Excellent guys as well, man. Just here we go. That was part 1. Well done there, producer Covey.
Done all right.
Yeah, you've done all right indeed.
How's the old viewers? We got 1 or 2 people watching, or?
Yeah, I've got a fair few people listening in, and obviously the beauty about it is obviously people watch it back as well. So, the transition over from YouTube's not been too harsh or anything like that. So, it's been fairly good. David Morgan said, "I'm staying up drinking tonight. Welcome in the new tier." David Morgan, bro, you should be those lines. I love it.
He's got a special rum. He's bought a special rum apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to ask what it is. I'm sure he'll tell us in a minute.
Sharing is caring, Mr. Morgan. So if it's Captain Morgan's rum, there you go. Then I love a bit of old school dark rum as well. So yeah, I'm sure we've got another guest lined up in about 5 minutes' time. So make sure you stay tuned for who we got lined up next. But yeah, just getting back to this tier business, man. I mean, do you think it's the last that we've seen it?
I don't know. You know what? I don't. Has there been any? Obviously, I haven't been on Twitter or anything for a little while. I don't know whether there's been any announcements. Is everything stopped now? Has there been everything? Suppose it's got to stop now, isn't it? Midnight tonight. That's it. It's done, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah. Apart from the elite and apart from organised sports with young people, youth, and people with disabilities, so those are the ones that are exempt. But apart from that, we can't play basically. So everything's come about. It's basically come about a week too early. Put it that way. Because again, this would have been tomorrow. People that play Sunday League would have been playing their last game before Christmas anyway. And then obviously they might have had another game after Christmas. But yeah,
it's funny like what Alex was saying about him living in Basildon, because I work in Basildon.
Yeah.
And like every night when we come in, we're classed as key workers because it's for the New York Stock Exchange. So we've got to be in. But we're coming into an area. I've caught Alex's cough as I just said that.
Gosh.
So he's yeah. Every night we come in, we're checking the figures and the graphs and the stats, and it's unbelievable. Basildon's unbelievable. It's like Wuhan. This is like fucking Wuhan. This is Basildon. It's terrible. It's like the most. I think it's the worst. I think it's the worst in not only Essex in England now. Basildon's got the highest rate, and I'm driving into this every single day. From Leon C. It's madness.
Davis confirms that it's Captain Morgan, mango and pineapple. Very nice. COVID people who drink and have a Scotch egg. So
mango and pineapple.
I'm having a bit of that. I like that. A bit fruity, bit of a.
Has he got a little umbrella? Has he got a little cocktail umbrella
sure.
in it?
Can you confirm it's still Morgan? Have you got an umbrella for us as well? Please do.
David Morgan drinking Captain Morgan on a Saturday night.
There we go. Jake said, as David's so active tonight, ask Kobe what his favourite David Morgan moment is.
Well, you know what? I don't know. You know what? I don't know. Some of it is just a bit too. Most of the people watching probably won't find it funny because it's he's like a desired taste. We've got a group chat going, and there's only I think there's 5 of us in it, and some people would just would come in and be like, "What the hell is going on?" It's like mad ass. It's like border. It's like fucking One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in that group chat.
Rootz, asking, do under 18s and people with disabilities have immunity from the virus? Again, I do not know. This is one of Boris's many rulings, obviously for tier 4. Obviously they're exempt from this whole tier 4 situation. So it's a good question to ask, but I do not know. Unfortunately, I haven't got a blonde wig, or I'm not Prime Minister of the country, so I don't know, Richard. I don't know. Peter saying all our youth games have been called off, as well as our men's games all been stopped. To be fair, it makes sense to do it all. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It makes sense. I don't see the purpose of having youth playing, but men can't or adults can't, because who's going to take the youth to football? Obviously,
exactly. You have more adults at kids football anyway than you do at adults football.
Exactly.
All around the sides.
It's baffling. What the under 7s are going to just walk themselves to train it to a game and that's it? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
If you're going to ban one, then ban the rest. So I don't know. Makes no sense. David Morgan said, "You said my Harry Kane impression was your favourite thing ever." Oh God!
I'll tweet that later.
The last person who did it, I don't think they're working no more. But anyway,
yeah, exactly that.
True third. Newcastle losing. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Cheers. cheers for the update. I'm glad I'm doing this.
I think Dean will be watching that as well rather than this. So he should have been watching this.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not watching that. Anyway, don't want to get into Steve Bruce and his tactics, quote unquote tactics. Oh dear. But
I don't know if you've got to if you put a link out. I don't know if Becky's been in touch to try and come on.
Okay. Becky, if you are listening in, I will put the link out again. So again, please feel free to click on the link. Covey, let us know who we've got next.
Well, we're meant to have Becky Shepard from Stevenage. Obviously, met Becky last year. She was playing for Dean's side at Harlow. Just a natural goal scorer, really. Was heading towards winning the Golden Boot before COVID came along and shut the league down. You know, so and then she's moved on to play for her hometown club now, Stevenage. I think they're looking for their first win. So I thought we'd just get her on to have a little chat about that, see how that was going.
Well, you know what, Covey? Like magic, ta-da! Here she is.
See, that always happens. As soon as I speak, she just appears. It used to be that she'd score. So I'd walk into the ground, and literally she'd score 3 seconds later. It's just mental.
The magic of the internet. How are we doing, Becky? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. First thing first, I need to ask you, who is that Livermore? Are we talking Jake Livermore?
Oh, yeah. Jake Livermore, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Talk to us about that. You know, how do you get that shirt?
We've been mates about 10, 11 years. Yeah, just went to a game. Yeah, it's just one of his match worn shirts, so yeah, it just takes pride of place.
She's a baller, Clint, mate. She knows them all. She's a baller. Oh, Defoe. I think you got Defoe. Have you got Defoe one? He's one of your pals as well, isn't he?
Yeah. Huh?
Jermain Defoe. He's one of your heroes.
Yeah, I've got a shirt somewhere. It's just not up yet.
Oh, so Jermain Defoe as well, eh?
Yeah, JD. Yeah. She's Tottenham, ain't she? So it makes sense.
Oh, okay. Makes more sense now. I was going to say, you're playing it down like, I just got Jake Livermore shirt and Jermain Defoe shirt. Like, I'm sure there's a reason behind it. You don't just go grab your shirts off people, do you?
How you been, Bexin? Have you found the old move over to Stevenage?
I've really enjoyed it, actually. Yeah, it's obviously I had a good season at Harlow. I mean, as you know. But yeah, it's a good challenge. It's obviously the league above, so it's been a tough season, but no, really enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah, there seems to be quite a few new signings at the club. A lot of people that you obviously know already, being from that area anyway. So I suppose it was like coming back home again, wasn't it, for you? Was it a bit of a homecoming? Yeah,
I mean, most of the players at Stevenage have been at the club quite a while, and obviously being from Stevenage was most of them. So yeah, it was easy to got right in. Yeah.
Yeah, we was going to have Poppy Bennett was going to come on tonight, but she's having a night in front of their TV with her girlfriend, and they're getting drunk apparently, so she can't drink and speak at the same time apparently.
That would have been perfect.
So shout out to Pops. We see her when we went to watch Millwall versus Stevenage Development. She was playing. She played so well that game. Yeah, so well. Yeah. Good player. Yeah, very good player. I used to play with her
at Spurs as well, actually. Very good player. Yeah.
Now, Becky,
go on.
I was going to ask you this, Becky. How would you deal with having Covey as your manager? Because I remember last week we was having a conversation, Covey, about possibly,
she'd sign for me, mate, all day.
Yeah?
Every week you ask me. Every week. I don't know.
Yeah, no. We worked together for a little while at Arlo, and obviously I don't ever class myself as a coach. I've done my coaching badges when I was at Arsenal as a 19-year-old. Done a YTS at Arsenal and got my coaching badges there. So I never really I've not done any sort of coaching other than a warm up before the game, the odd training drill. So anything I brought over to Harlow was just drills that I'd been shown and I'd been taught. But we had some fun though, didn't we? We had the top bins challenge. I think you're the only one who got it in, and it wasn't even part of the drill, was it?
No, I think obviously we link as well because obviously you're an ex-striker yourself, so
yeah.
That's a feature.
Yeah, you had Scott over there as well. That was like a bit of an elite coaching from Scott.
Yeah.
He takes the old finishing to a whole new level.
Oh.
And then he's at Billericay. He was gonna be playing against them tomorrow. You old foes, Scott and Terry. I was looking forward to that game actually. I was going to come over and watch that game.
Would have been
But
good
obviously, hopefully, yeah. And then I was looking forward to walking in the ground and then seeing you score. But yeah, that would have been a good game. They're doing well, Billericay, especially after their result last week. Great result they had last week.
I've got a question here from Mr. Morgan, aka Captain Morgan, saying, if you was hosting a dinner party, which 5 footballers, managers, coaches would you invite, dead or alive? So, interesting question. Interesting question. Who would you guys pick? Let's pick one each then, at least for the first 3, and then maybe Mr. Morgan can chime in with one as well. Who would you go with, Becky?
It's got to be JD. All day.
JD. What, over Jake Livermore? Yeah.
Oh yeah, easy. The stories I go about are real.
Jake might actually come back for that shirt, you know.
Probably.
What about you, Cody? Who would you have?
I'd bring Dennis Bergkamp because he's just class. He's absolute class of geezer.
Okay.
About you?
See, Mike could change from a minute, but I think to liven up the party, I'd have Micah Richards because his laugh is infectious. Do you know what I mean? He's just always forever laughing, keeping up the mood. I mean, if he can make someone like Roy Keane laugh, then boy, he can definitely light up a room.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd have to have him involved as well. But
so tell Bex, tell us about your early life in football. I know you went to the States and stuff. How did that all come about? And tell us a little bit about your career.
Yeah, so obviously, I mean, I'm presuming you guys know much about women's football. Obviously, when I was younger, when I first started, it wasn't that big. So it was mixed footballs. And then I went to Spurs for 7 years. And then I left Spurs just as Karen Hills joined. You guys must know who Karen Hills is.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course we know she is.
Come on, Beck.
But yeah, and then I always wanted to go and play out in the States. So I got myself an agent and went to a few showcases where they put like videos together. And then, I had 4 or 5 unis and colleges out there. So I ended up going to Texas for 2 years.
That must have been amazing.
Oh, best experience of my life. I'd 100% recommend it to anyone. Easy. Yeah.
Did you score goals out there? Was you like a hero out there, or did it go with the football side of it? Did the football side go well?
Yeah, it's kind of weird how it works out there because I went to a JUCO, so a junior college, but their seasons are quite short, so it's only September to December, and then January to April is like showcases for the universities.
Wow.
We won our conference both years I was out there. Golden boot both years, so I'll say that.
Shock.
Goal machine.
And what happened? What made you come back? Was it because the scholarship ended, or was it just homesickness, or what was it?
There's a few reasons, to be fair. Like, I don't really suffer with homesickness. I'm quite an independent person, so that wasn't an issue for me. There was a few reasons. I came back because I had good job opportunities over here. Plus, over there, there's not it's weird how it works as well, because to get in over there, they're only allowed 4 internationals per team, so it is really hard to get in.
Wow.
But I had better playing opportunities offered over here than I did over there. So for me, the right choice was to stay. So yeah, I stayed.
Yeah, where did you come back? Who did you sign for when you came back?
I had a brief stint, because I came back a little bit early, so the season over here was still going. I came back in like March, so there was still like 2 months left of the season. So I had a brief stint with Stevenage then, and then Hertford set up a team, and my dad became manager, so I joined them. I was there for 3 years, I think it was. Yeah, and then I moved on to Royston, and then I'm from there.
How was that like playing for the big dog?
It was good. I loved it. It's not the first time I played for him either, so no, I loved it.
Yeah, Clint Beck's unfortunately lost her dad last year. What a fantastic man! I've told you privately. I've told you I'd say in the open. What a fantastic man your dad was. He was a massive fan of you. Obviously, I went to all the games and he was there all the time. Cheering you on, and it was like he was like Arlo's 12th man. And
it was.
I remember the coach journey to was it Wroxham or was it Wroxham?
Yeah.
Minibus and then he's just a fantastic man, and to play obviously you've played for him as well. It must be you have some great memories.
Yeah, I mean, we were quite fortunate. We won the league twice out of those 3 years, maybe 3 times.
Wow!
So to share their memory as well is it's special, very special.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
No, thank you very much for that, Becky, for coming on and sharing your story with us. And again, wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Yeah, and
and make sure you start scoring in 2021. Okay, I want to see you going up that league table, and then we'll definitely be able to catch a game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely come over.
All right, Bex. All right, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it. It was nice to see you.
Appreciate that. Take care.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
There we go. And that was
good player.
Becky. Again, you're already starting this dream team of yours, isn't there? You're already kind of putting the wheels in motion. I see. Cotton on, you got your striker sorted.
My forward line is looking healthy, mate.
There we go.
So if there's any teams out there that's looking for a manager, I've got a team ready to come.
Hey, we want the exclusive dropped on here. When you've taken that big job, whoever it may be, I want the exclusive on here on your own show. You got to drop the exclusive. Listen,
like I said the other week, the ladies are just so coachable. It's the enthusiasm. It's just a different feeling. It's a different vibe. Women's football and men's football is a totally different vibe, and I think a lot of people that custard pie the old ladies game need to go and watch a few ladies games, because I think they'll be really surprised. I think they'll be really surprised with the standard, because go on.
I was going to say, even from my point of view, from a media point of view, I remember going to quite a few games, and in terms of accessibility, it's so much more easier, because in the men's game, for example, if I went to a Newcastle game, you got to go through the press office, you got to go through agents, you got to go through all and then the players themselves, sometimes they might carry a bit of an ego, whereas within the women's game, it's encouraged to go and speak to them. They want you to speak to them. At the end of the games, they go and speak to fans and take pictures and selfies and all the rest of it now, and that's just the pure difference between the two. So even from that standpoint alone, like, why not invest in that more? Because again, I feel like you'd get more out of it. So yeah, that's what I would say. And obviously from the playing side of things as well, again, the standard is high. Yeah. Look,
see, I would definitely. I've managed 3 clubs, and some of the ladies that I saw play last season, they would easily get in the squads. Some of the squads, they was pound for pound as good as some of the players that I had. And you know, that's just fact. It's just fact.
Yeah. No, again, and it's like you said. Like I feel like sometimes on social media platforms, especially on Twitter as well, like women's football gets an unfair rap, and I'm like, hold on a minute, you'll see the same errors if you like in a men's game, but you're gonna start ridiculing them.
Yeah,
it makes no sense really. So I would say if you haven't really, go and actually check out a game. Make a conscious effort. I would say go and check out a game or two, and you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Look at the goal I retweeted. I think it was yesterday or the day before from Abby Dale from Millwall. That header. There's not going to. There's some people in my squad and last season's squad wouldn't have got on the end of that and put that and buried that as she did. You know, there's Dean at Harlow's got Amy Nash and Ellie Manning. Oh my days, they'd get into most men's teams. It's crazy the standard. The standard is exceptionally high. And I do, and you know, Sunday. What more could you want on a Sunday? It's like 2:00 kickoff. Go over to your local ladies' club, watch a game, get back in time for Super Sunday on the Sky. Every Sunday dinner done. It was perfect last season. It was lovely.
There you go, man. Coveys just sorted out your Sunday for you, man. If you're struggling for the fixtures to go and check out before obviously watching Premier League football, there you go. Go down to your local ladies team and watch them. Do a bit of grassroots football in the morning, 10:30 kickoffs.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that.
There you go.
I've done a day one. Yeah, I've done a day once like that. I went and watched one of the old teams. Some players that used to play from my team. They had a team called Elder, so I went to watch them. Then I went to watch, I think it was Harlow, and then got home for Super Sunday. Every dinner, but it's just like wow, it's like a whole day. It's nice,
whole day out,
and there's no stress. No stress either. I didn't have to pick no team. I didn't have to make any substitutions. Just sitting there with a cup of coffee. Lovely.
And one more thing as well about going to a women's game as well, that it's more family orientated as well. I feel like I see more families go to games rather than just obviously families go to men's games. Don't get it twisted, but I feel like you'll hear less swearing, hear less kicking off and all the rest of it, and it's kind of geared more towards that as well. So again, if you want to take your partner there and your kids as well, then by all means go down to a game. I feel like I'm selling it now, but it's true.
Well, it's like at Arlo last year, like with obviously with Bex's dad and Abby's mum and dad used to watch her, and Georgia Box, who plays for Arlo, her dad and mum go and watch there, and I got really well with her dad, Steve. Nicole, her dad goes to watch. The other player, Liv. Her mum and dad and used to come. It was just like it was. You're right. It's just the parents. They turn up and they support their kids, you know, and it makes it for a nice little atmosphere. Like the Harlow Ultras.
Harlow Ultras. Now, got a third guest coming up. Now, you know him. I know him very well as well. In fact, I came across him probably around this time last year at a tournament, and since then, he's gone on to like really bigger and better things. Obviously, he'll be able to tell in more detail. But I just want to say that off the bat that I'm really proud of this guy, because the conversation that we had at this grassroots tournament to where he is now, he's
on Coveys Grassroots show now. He's got a massive.
I mean, he's made it, man.
Like
he's made it. It all started off with me shoving a camera in his face and then coming on Coveys Grassroots show a year and a bit later. I mean, look at the journey this guy has. I mean, he's not even here yet, but I'm just bigging him up. So if you're listening, Ruudy, jump in. Your time's now. Your time's ticking away. Jake's put in a request. He says, a request to keep this show going, even without football, will be a good place for us non-league guys to keep up, have a chat, enjoy some football content. Jake, we're not going anywhere, baby.
Yeah.
We're not
going anywhere. The next, I was thinking about the next show is Boxing Day, isn't it? So Boxing Day night. That'd be a good one. That'd be good. How's Christmas? Lovely? No? Shit? Was it? Rubbish? Burnt the turkey?
Let's face it. When Christmas is done, pretty much once you had your food and that's it. You undone your presents. All right, I've got some socks, the same socks as last year. Cool. That's done. And then Christmas is done. Boxing Day.
Links Africa gift set. Done.
The Links Africa gift set is a classic one, trust me. Oh dear. Right. Now, as I was talking about earlier, slightly earlier, I was bigging up this guy because I feel like I've known him a while now. Do you know what I mean? We met at a tournament, and then I said before, he's gone into bigger, better things. Now on Coveys Grassroots show.
Woo.
Yo, what's happening, guys?
There he is.
Made it. You have made it.
I've made it. I've officially made it. You just said it. I'm on Coveys Grassroots show. I'm done. That's me retired after today. I've done everything I need to do.
You don't need Jamie O'Hara and Paul Konchesky. You don't need them fucking amateurs.
Hey, listen, you never know. Conch might be on this, you know. Conch might be watching, you know.
Listen,
yeah, he's a good guy.
If you're listening, by all means, you can jump on board, mate. You can come as well. Coveys Grassroots show. This is where it's at on the Saturday night. But yes, we are joined by Coach Ruudy, bro. How are you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Just sitting up here. I haven't had a haircut for about 8 weeks, so I'm hatted up, man.
Mate,
I thought that was your hair.
Well, you think I gone blonde, yeah?
I thought we had a blonde.
I thought, yeah, after the sacking, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll just go blonde.
Carlos is on. Oh, man.
Carlos is on. We got Saheem as well in the building as well. Shout out to you, Saheem, as well.
Mate, you watch out for that name. Ruudy, watch out for Carlos Flood. Mate, he's going to take off, I'm telling you.
Well,
he plays for us now. He's on loan from Hashtag. He's part of the Leon Constantine Academy. What a player, mate.
Well, I'll keep him in mind.
Yeah. He knows it. He knows I love him. He's like a second son.
Always looking for talent, man. Always looking for talent.
What have you been up to today? You been coaching?
Yeah, I was on the ground in the morning, back with my academy sides now. So with my 16s and the youngsters 7s and that. So just adjusting back to kids football again. Which was
Ruudy,
mad.
I want you to talk us through this journey because, as I said before, like we met personally, like I think it's in Slough, about a year ago at least at a grassroots tournament. Now, talk us through this journey because when I heard it for like the second or third time, I'm still blown away by it. If you guys haven't learned, listen to this story because it's quite phenomenal in a sense. Well, not in a sense, it is phenomenal. So talk me through it.
Well, it starts obviously, like I say many times and on many podcasts and many shows. Football's not actually my first love. I'm a small guy, but I love the fighting sport, MMA, boxing, and wrestling, and the rest of it. It's what I actually love. But I got into football from about 9-10 years old, and then it's always been football ever since. I'll still be up at 4 a.m. watching a fight. Don't worry about that. And then 8 o'clock in the morning, back out on the ground. But that's what happens when you love two sports. But yeah, I played for a little while. Didn't really do well. Wasn't ever really going to make it. And then I took on coaching at 16, 17 years old. Did a local under 10 side. Then went over to Redbridge. That was my first real experience out of my comfort zone. Then started my own under 18 side. Did that for a couple of years. Took him to go and play in the South Essex League, which I think Covey would know at the time. I don't know what it's called anymore. But at the time it was called the South Essex League, about 10 years ago now. And then from there went to Newham in the Essex Senior League as a first team coach as a 25-year-old. Didn't really enjoy it. And at that point I made a decision I don't really want to do men's football ever again. And so I started my own academy for kids aged between 4 and 16. I had all these ideas. So I was like, I'm going to recruit all the coaches in the world. I'm going to have everything then. Took about 9 months to plan it. Went to our first session, did all the leafleting and everything, and got shocked at our first session and only 6 kids show up. And I was just there scratching my head thinking, for fuck's sake.
Well, was there sometime, man.
Yeah, I had more coaches than players in my first session. But you know what? We stuck at it and we just kept going. And today we have about a good 140, 150 kids from all the way. We have teams from under 7s all the way to the under 16s scattered around London. And yeah, this time last year, well, it was about October time last year. I know Gifton, know Williams, and I read on his Twitter page or not even on his Twitter page, on Billericay's Twitter page, someone retweeted that he's the assistant manager at Billericay. So I messaged him because he hadn't told me himself. So I messaged him. It was a Thursday morning. I messaged him while I was sat at work, and I said, Gifty, congratulations on your job at Billericay. If there's ever a chance that I can come in and observe a session, which I love to do, please let me know. And he was like, yeah, by all means, come whenever you want. I said, what days do you train? He said, Tuesday, Thursday. And it happened to be a Thursday. I said, are you training tonight? And he was like, well, you're eager, aren't you? I said, I told you, I just love coaching, innit? I just love watching. So he's like, yeah, we're training tonight. I'll ask Jamie if you can come. So they were quite nice to let me come. So I started off behind the barrier with a notepad and a pen, watching a session. And it was just the two of them. So I don't know who the first team coach was, whether he was employed at the time or not employed at the time. I'm not sure, but he wasn't there. So it was just them two taking the session. And obviously it's step 2 of men's football. So they do have to be quite organized. And it's a Thursday, so they're playing on a Saturday. So you can imagine that they want to do team shape and the rest of it, but they also want to get their session stuff in as well. So Gift's doing the session and Jamie's preparing to take the team shape and whatnot. And I could see that the transitioning from drill to drill, and anyone who coaches would know that you kind of want to be organized. So you don't want your players to be standing around and X, Y, Z. So I just said to Gifty, look, if it makes your life easier, I don't mind coming on, picking up the cones and stuff. And so you can transition from one drill to another drill and there's not any interruption. And he was like, yeah, I'd appreciate that if you could do that. Next thing I know, I'm standing in the middle of that, of O'Hara's team talk, aren't I? So I'm just literally soaking it all in. And then when they were doing the team shape stuff and he was standing on the side observing, kind of just started having a conversation with him about the team. And he was obviously telling me that we're going for a rebuild, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, great. I took my phone out at the end of the session. I was a bit hesitant because I just spent an hour and a half, 2 hours with them. So I was like, do I take a selfie? Do I not take a selfie? But I was like, nah, fuck it, I'm taking a selfie. At the end of the day, he's played for Spurs. I'm fucking taking a selfie. So took a selfie with him and Gifton and went home. Minding my business, went home. Got a call a couple of weeks later from Gifton, said, listen, Jamie liked you. I like you. You're keen to learn. You want to learn. Come in and do some shadowing with us for however long you want. And I was like, sweet, I ain't turning that down. Next thing, I'm on the fucking dugout. I was like, what? This has escalated. This fucking escalated. So yeah, obviously in the summer, Gifty departed ways with Billericay. So naturally, I thought, yep, that's me done as well. But Jamie called me. I was actually his first phone call when he was assembling his new management team. And he said, listen, I really loved what you did last season. Want you to come on with a little bit more responsibility this year. And yeah, I was back in there, but unfortunately, things didn't really work out for us. And I'm back to kids football again. But again, in pre-season, I was part of the women's setup there as well, which was brilliant. Like I heard you guys talking about the women's game, and definitely got some unfinished business in the women's game. I'll tell you that.
See, this is my key. So there's my key to getting my next forward.
It all worked out.
Listen, Covey knows the drill. He'll get the forward if I get the assistant manager's gig.
Mate, I'm telling you, the forward is worth that, mate. So let's shake on that now.
Done.
Yeah, mate, what a player.
Really, I know you're going through like hard times, obviously being out of that position that you was in. But the main thing I take from that situation is that you really took a chance on yourself and backed yourself, and then you worked your way in there, and before you know it, you're at Billericay with Jamie O'Hara and Kieron Williams. And this is what I want people to kind of wise up about. It's not all it's about. I've got to apply for this job and all the rest of it. Now you went down there, took a chance. You put your hours in, and off the back of that, you was trusted with an opportunity. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is what I want to try and get across to people.
Yeah. I mean, I'm blessed in a sense, lucky in a sense. The first time I met you, Clint, I actually said to you that I'm tired of waiting for people to open doors for me. I've got to start opening my own doors. And when the opportunity presented itself, it was about using my own initiative, especially when I got in. So when they offered me to come in, when I got there, I did feel out of place. I ain't gonna lie, because you're obviously in a dressing room with thousands of league caps, like the likes of Ronnie Henry and Doug Loft and Alfie Potter at the time, and Jake Robinson, and these are league players. And in the management staff of Jamie O'Hara, Gifted No Williams, Gift is a Jamaica international. Jamie's played in Champions Leagues, play an FA Cup winner. So it's like I felt completely out of place, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let it faze me. I was in awe for about an hour or so, and then after that, it was like, listen, I've got to get to work, and I need to find a responsibility. It's not going to be given to me. I need to show my worth. I need to earn my respect. So what I did is I went home that evening or that week. So that first week when I went there, we started on Boxing Day at Concord. That was my first. I went straight to the dugout. So I hadn't been in a training session. We lost to Concord, and when I went back to training that week in preparation for the next game, I decided to watch the opposition. So I spoke to the media guys at Billericay, figured out how to watch the opposition, and I watched about 8 of the opposition's games. And if I remember correctly, it was Chelmsford, and Chelmsford were coming to us in the local derby, and I gave Jamie this whole 16-page match report on Chelmsford City, and whether he looked at it or didn't look at it, I don't know. I can't tell you today. But what I did do is I highlighted their right back at the time, and I never forget the name, Matty Whelpdale, I think his name was. What player? But he was a right back. He scored goals, he made assists, and he was the best player in that team. And obviously, I had Michael Chambers at the time as well. So I went and told him at the beginning of the game, I said, listen, this Whelpdale is going to cause us a lot of problems. I mean, what's our answer to him? And I don't think he paid attention. I think he just thought, yeah, I'm being nice to him. He was really nice, but I think he just thought, yeah, all right, mate, love your passion, but I've got this. So we went in. I think we went in at halftime, 1-0 down or 1-1 or something like that. And this is where I think my real journey started, because when we went into the changing room, our left winger, Jamie's obviously believing me that Mate Whelpdale he's a fucking player. So he's gone to me, Ruudy, listen, I want you to go and sit in the stand on the opposite side, and I want you to be in the ear of the left winger the entire game. And for me, even though I was in a dugout that second half, I was with the fans in the stand. But the fact that he'd given me the responsibility to speak to that whole left-hand side and make sure I'm in the ears, it was like I was managing the left side and he was managing the right side. And that for me was my in. And after that, they continued to do the reports. I started taking the organization of set pieces on a match day and stuff like that. So I kind of gave myself roles and responsibilities till they took me till I was taken serious. And then from there, it was just, it was good. And this year was brilliant, especially with Conch. Conch is the legend.
There's a nice photo that I tweeted today of you in the middle of O'Hara and Conch. Like you're the one shouting out instructions, mate. That's a photo for life. That's a great photo.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like Conch is ex-England international, and the knowledge that the guy holds in terms of the game. I'm so glad we're still mates now, because I'm coaching his kid at the moment, but he's definitely a friend to have for life, because he's just a lovely guy, to be honest.
He's unbelievable guy. Yeah, unbelievable guy. He's always, whenever we've had to call on him for a shout out and things like that, and help him with anything charity, any charity dues, anything, always come forward.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm not even surprised by that. He's just constantly on it, and I've actually got him booked in for a session. I hope we can do it. I've got him booked in for a session. I want to get him working again.
I think the one-to-one things is all right, according to that statement that was put out earlier. But you know, I think over the next few days, I think it will come out of what we can, and what we can't do.
But there's been a lot of knee-jerk reactions, because like Power League have already tweeted their closing, and it's just I don't know. It's all a bit mad to me.
It's all a bit mad indeed. But really, like, what's next for you now? Because obviously you've had this taste. You probably want more. I'm assuming you want more. What's next for you then now?
Look, to be fair, the day we found out that we won't be part of it no more. I realized when you're inside a team, and Covey will vouch for this. When you're part of a management team, you don't really network with the other teams around you in terms of like you say hello to them and hi to them, but you're not really if you don't know him, you don't know him kind of thing. But since I come out, I mean, I've spoken to a good 5, 6, 7 clubs at step 2. It's difficult. We're mid-season. Obviously, their class is elite. They're going to carry on. But it's difficult to join their coaching staff in the middle of the season, and I completely respect that. The experience is there. But like I said, for me, I think I've got unfinished business in a women's game.
But going back to men's just for a minute, is you as a management team of you, Jamie and Paul, is there not a future for that management team?
Well, I don't. Look, we're in touch. We talk. If something comes up, it comes up. I'm one of those that I just want to stay in it. It's never been about money for me, and it never will be about money for me. Hopefully, one day I'm good enough to be earning money from the game. But that can happen in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years time. I'm not really bothered. For me, I just love the game, and the bit I loved about being in step 2 is the intensity of it, the pressure of it. It is about winning. It was about winning, and football. I've heard you say it so many times, Coveys. Football's about winning.
100%. 100%.
It's about winning, and when you go in that
so close to the professional game as well, that level,
exactly.
You're pretty much a pro. You're pretty much pro.
It's, exactly that. So the standard and everything, even when because I would take the forwards out, like this season, I was working with the forward players and stuff, and one conversation I had with Jamie, which was, James, listen, I don't care what money I'm on. I don't care if I'm on nothing. I don't care if I'm on 100 grand. I want to be treated the exact same as everybody else. If I fuck up, I want you to pin me to the wall. I want you to pin me to the wall and tell me I fucked up, because that's the only way I'm going to learn. I want criticism. So like I said, I would love to stay at that level, but I'm a realist, and I get that it's not going to be as easy as what people make out to be. So I know that I've got to come down a few levels and start again. But if I'm going to do that, for me, I would love to finish my experience off in a women's game. So I think come January, you might hear something.
I'm hearing things already, mate. Don't worry about that. I'm hearing them already.
I mean, there's certain things like that. So good people. Good people.
So what about your relationship with T then? How did that all come about?
Like I said, I was the assistant manager for a short period of time in the women's team. So I was doing a dual role at Billericay.
Did you know that before that?
No.
Did you know?
No. So when I got given the job, I got given the task of T. That was part of my job description. It was like, listen, we've got this player. She's phenomenal. Her sister plays for Spurs, but we need to the way she was, not by Scott, but the way she was described to me by the club is that she's a individual.
Yeah.
But the way I would describe her after knowing her is that she's really misunderstood. I don't know if you guys have seen the Anelka documentary, Misunderstood, on Netflix.
Yeah.
That's T. That's T for you. She's misunderstood. The girl just wants to play football. And for me, she is the best player at the club. I don't care. I can say it. I'm not at club anymore. She's the best player at the club. Yeah.
She's exceptional. She's exceptional.
For me, if you're not building a team around her, then you're mad.
Yeah. I think the first time I ever saw her play, I can't remember who the game was against. I can't think who it was against, but it was at Billericay. It was last year. But mate, she was just unreal. Her sister, I was standing next to her sister.
Yeah.
And I was just watching her and I was thinking, this girl is unbelievable. She was just beating players for fun. She looked bored. She looked bored of the level. It was like you could just see that she was just too good. She should be playing. She should be pro. She should be a professional player. Although,
and I think she knows that as well. I think she knows that as well. She knows that she should be pro, and she's. I think the good thing about my time. Yeah, the good thing about my time with her was that what I started doing with her is I started giving her a little bit of notes. So I would give her targets for the week. It didn't necessarily reflect, because I know she can score goals. She'll score goals in her sleep, like you tweeted the other day. But more to bring out another side of the game for her. So like I said, I really enjoy my time working with all of them, to be honest with you. But as great as women football is, there are some politics involved in women's football as well.
I know that, mate. I know that.
One question here. Good question, in fact. Question is it all about winning at youth football? Now, I know, Covey, you mentioned about winning in adult football, but what about youth football? Is it all about winning at that?
Listen, I'm not involved in youth football. I've got so much time for people that are involved in youth football, because they're producing the talent that's going to take the country forward, and there's so much time and effort goes into that youth football. But there is and I'm not in that sort of that family of youth football, and I know a lot of it is about the taking part and the development, and I think that's probably a reason why I couldn't be involved in youth football, because I haven't got the patience for that. I haven't got the patience to. I know we use the old cliche: you win or you learn, but you do. It's right to an element, but you don't. You win or you fucking lose. That's it. and you learn. I know you learn from your losses, but you also learn a lot from your wins as well. And you got to learn to love winning. You just got to love winning and celebrate winning and it's just got to become it's got to become your Christmas. Winning has got to be it's got to be everything. It's got to be everything about it. You just got to be a winner. You got to want to go in that dressing room and come back in the dressing room with nothing other than a win. That's all. That's how I was taught when I played, and we won a lot. We won a lot of games. We won a lot of trophies, and there's no better feeling. There's no better feeling as a player, as a forward. There's no better feeling than scoring a goal. Oh my God, there's no better feeling. Even KFC, fucking big daddy meal, mate, for free. It don't even come close. It doesn't come close to scoring a goal and winning a game of football. It's just the pinnacle of everything. Winning a game of football.
I'm involved in youth football, so look, our focus as youth coaches is primarily development, especially when you go to the foundation phase. But you have to be really you have to be really stupid to not think that kids actually understand when they've won a game and lost a game. They understand when they've won a game, and they understand when they've lost a game. And kids are competitive. It's good to teach them about losing, because you're going to lose in life. You're not always going to be smiling after a loss, and even in like job interviews and stuff like that, when you grow up, you're going to get rejected. So to taste rejection early, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think losing, as long as you know how to lose, you lose in the correct way, and you win in the right way as well. I mean, I'm an advocate for winning, but that doesn't mean that I'm not an advocate for development, because development is massive. I mean, like Covey said, we're trying to produce the next talent, and it's not about us. At youth football, it's not about the coaches. Yes, I personally believe coaches should have high qualifications to be at youth football, especially the grassroots game, because at the grassroots game, we're painting an empty canvas. It's not like we're producing the talent that then goes on to the academy, put the icing on the cake. So we're the actual bakers at grassroots. Yeah. So we have to have our badges, and we have to have good ethics, and we have to develop them. And it is about the kid. It's about each individual kid who is playing in a team environment. Even at that age, even at under 7, they're playing in a competitive team environment. Just because you write non-competitive and there's no league table doesn't mean the kids don't know whether they've won or lost. My boy's 6, he'll celebrate scoring 6 goals or 5 goals in a game, but he'll know that if they've lost that game 7-6, he'll know I've lost that game, even though I've scored 5 goals. So to have those attributes within you as a youngster, I don't think it's wrong personally.
I'm going to ask you both a final question, because I'm just seeing some of the comments in the comment section about talent versus networking and all the rest of it now. Shout out to everyone in the comment section. Apple's in there, Danny S, David Morgan, Jake, to name a few. But we're talking about, because we were talking about earlier, you getting a full-time job within the industry, Ruudy. And then I think Apple might have chimed in and said about, it's not necessarily about the talent these days, it's more about the networking and who you know. You know how the old saying goes. So do you guys believe in the same sort of process as well? Or do you feel like talent will only get you so far, or do you have to make sure you have a black book as big as the yellow pages? Like, how do you guys feel?
You got to go on face value. I think you got to have I like to build a team of good people around me, nice, friendly. That you got to all believe in the same process. And you've all got to muck in together, and it's experience and persona. Really, it's personality for me all day. I've not got like Apple's got a really valid point about it's not about talent, and it's about who you know and networking and stuff. And every way in I've had in football in my management career has been because someone knows me and someone's asked me to go and be a manager or to go to be a manager. I've not actually applied and then gone up against anyone who's got X amount of coaching badges. It's just it's based on emotion and the feeling you get about people.
Mm-hmm. What about yourself, Ruudy? Obviously,
I completely agree. I completely agree.
A bit like from your story earlier, you know, you went there, you knew Gifton off the back of knowing Gifton, you got to know Jamie, and then obviously you got in there. So yeah.
And then it's important what you do when you're in there as well. So yeah, you knowing people gets you through the door. But depending on the level that you're at, I mean, like Jamie didn't know me from Adam the day I walked in there. You know, I could have crumbled, shit my pants, and been out the door within half an hour. So it's about what you do when you get in as well. And like Coveys said, it's about the person as well. If you can get along with your management team and you bring value and substance to the table, then your talent will then show later. But yeah, I completely 100% agree with Apple and the rest of the guys that are saying that your networking has to be on point. And look, that part of that networking is being at a place like Billericay has done me the world of good, because a lot of people didn't know who I was before that. I was a coach in kids football, so I may have been known in the kids scene, but in the adult game or in the women's game, I was never known. So in that sense, that's also a part of networking as well. And we live in a day and age of social media now, anyway. So you've got to put yourself out there a little bit and try your luck. To be fair, you know, when I made these phone calls after I left Billericay, it was that was my first line. I know I'm chancing. Yeah, I know I'm chancing my luck. You don't know me. I don't know you. But if I don't ask, I don't get. So
mate, you got to promote yourself like you promote. You know, just promote. Love yourself, promote yourself. You know, and then
exactly
don't be afraid of. Some people call it, you know, attention seeking and things like that on your timeline and whatever. That, mate, just do what you need to do to get yourself where you want to be. That's it. And the people that want to preach about attention seeking and this, that, and the other, they can just fuck off.
I love that. I love this guy.
Fuck them.
Should put that as Monday motivation, Covey. Monday, you put that as a tweet, mate. That's what you should do for sure.
Yeah, seriously, fuck them.
Ruudy, again, thank you for joining us, brother. As always, it's great to hear from you, man.
Absolute pleasure, man. Thank you guys for having me on.
Thanks for coming on, mate. Thanks for coming on.
I had a lot of fun, man. Thank you.
Because again, you are known, because you might not have been known back then, but you are known now, mate. You're very well known. You're very highly thought of. And that's why we've got you on the show, to find out more about you, you know. So we look forward to watching your journey.
I look forward to working with you one day, Cove. Honestly, I look forward to it. And Clint, I'm always going to be working with you.
Yeah, brother.
Mate. All right, take it easy. Thanks for coming on, mate.
See you later. Thank you very much, guys. Have a Merry Christmas, man.
And you, man. There we go. So that kind of brings us to
show.
Covey. What a show. Yeah, you just took the words out of my mouth, mate. What a show. Mate. What a show. Some really fantastic guests there, all organised by the man to my right or left, whichever way you're looking at it. Again,
only because you made me, mate, because of your teeth. It would have been, you know.
But again,
you forced me into it.
Somehow, sometimes things work out like that. And again, we've had an amazing show. Some really good guests.
I really enjoyed that.
Alex, Kieron, to Becky, to Ruudy, like some really good guests. The time's flown by. So again, thank you very much
Thanks for everyone who came on and shared comments, and obviously thank you all for watching again. And we wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Stay safe. And we'll see you on Boxing Day for the Boxing Day special Rootz, yeah?
There we go.
Clint and Coveys Boxing Day special. It's going to be a cracker. Oh, mate.
Nice.